I originally wanted to make a Pokemon as humans video, but there were already a lot of them. But you know what there's not? Digimon as humans videos. As a huge Digimon fan, I knew what I had to do. In my past videos, I tend to assume people are familiar with the media I'm making videos about. Cause, I don't know, I guess it makes sense to expect people that have clicked on a video that talks about a certain topic to know about that topic. But more and more frequently, I get comments from people that are like, I have no idea what this is based on, but I like watching character designs videos. And you know what? Extremely based. I'm dedicating this video to all the people watching it that have no idea what a Digimon is. To give some context, Digimon Adventure is an anime about 7 kids that get transported into a strange world where they meet digital monsters, aka Digimon, and each kid gets their own Digimon companion and they evolve into cooler monsters and have to fight evil ones. Before anyone asks in the comments why I didn't draw a specific Digimon, I'm only including the main 8 Digimon from Adventure in their rookie stages. If you like this video, let me know and I might do a second part with the Digimon from Adventure 02 and Tamers. I'm starting with Agumon and Gabumon since those were the 2 main ones. Gabumon was very easy to design. He's a shy and caring Digimon that never takes off his fur coat because he doesn't feel comfortable without it. He evolves into Garurumon, a giant wolf fox monster. Now, as a human, Gabumon could totally be that one kid that is very quiet until you mention wolves, then won't shut up about wolf facts and start rolling. Come on. Tell me he couldn't be a furry. You can't. You know it's true. I translated his fur coat into a hoodie. I gave him blonde spiky hair to mimic his horn. Apart from that, I gave him a shirt with the symbols from his belly and also yellow pants. This is the most straightforward design out of all of the ones I did for this video. So yeah, in my human AU, Gabumon could totally be the furry, autistic, queer kid of the group. Wait, what do you mean queer? Come on, you cannot evolve into Garurumon without being a little bit fruity. On the other hand, Agumon was a headache to design. He was the last one I drew because he was so hard to just conceptualize. All the other Digimon have fun color schemes, cool shapes, and features I can translate into either hairstyles or clothing, but Agumon? He's just a fat orange dinosaur. I guess I needed to draw a fat ginger kid, but what else could I add to make him recognizable as Agumon? I thought by giving him a cap, it could kinda mimic the shape of his head, and also give him some main character vibes, since he is the companion of the main character, Tai. Yeah, I focus on capturing his energetic and fun personality with this design, as well as using multiple shades of orange and yellow to not make it too boring. He's probably the least recognizable one of them all, but hopefully people will be able to tell it's him next to the other characters. Next, we have Biyomon and Tentomon. Biyomon is sweet, caring, and extremely affectionate. A bit too clingy, but she compensates that by being extremely brave and loyal, and by evolving into a firebird dragon. She's so cool. I feel her pink, red, and blue color scheme helped a lot to make her recognizable. I gave her a hat that resembles the feather on her head. And I also gave her a scarf that resembles the little twisted hair she has. You've probably heard at some point the joke that Digimon is just Pokemon with guns, and yeah, they have a point. Like, take a look at Gandramon. This is just a dragon made of guns. However, I disagree when people say it's a copy of Pokemon. As someone who grew up watching both shows, Digimon has a completely different vibe and has a more complex story. It's still very weird. There are multiple Digimon that attack just by throwing poop, which, yeah, that's very childish. But then you have many Digimon being brutally murdered on screen. Rest in peace, Leomon. Or Leomons. Why did they have to kill him in every season? Then we have Tentomon. I don't really care what anyone says. Tentomon was and always will be the GOAT. What an underrated king. The first thing that popped into my mind when designing him was giving him a huge backpack to mimic his beetle wings, and also to allude to the fact that he carried the entire show on his back. I love you, Tentomon. At first I thought of making him ginger because of his antennae, but alongside Agumon, Patamon and Gomamon, that would have made all the guys look too similar. So instead I turned his antenna into an orange bandana and give him a spiky afro hairstyle to mimic, well, his spikes. You've probably noticed it, but I'm not the biggest fan of the Jinka designs where they just draw a generic human and give them careers or wings or something like that. I find it way more fun to try to reflect the original traits with clothing, hairstyles, accessories. There are so many possibilities and different approaches if you just think a bit outside of the box. In all my videos where I redesign characters as humans, I get comments of people saying my designs are wrong and yada yada with... Okay, thanks for the engagement, little hater. But I don't think there's a right or wrong way to draw the Jinkas. And I could heavily encourage you to do your own designs. I don't mean it oh, if you think you're so much better, do it yourself. No, I mean, either if you like or dislike my designs, try doing your own. There's so many different ways of doing the Jinkas based on the same character, and you should totally give it a try. And now, a little break to talk about today's sponsor, Finautica. Yeah, I'm sponsoring my own video. Hi. If you like my art and want to support my videos, maybe you'd like to check out my online store, or perhaps get your own custom commission. I know most people can afford it right now, and that's fine. Just by watching my videos, you're helping me and my channel. So thank you. But if you can and want some art goodies, check the links in the description. And now back to the video. I want to personally thank Palmon for getting me into Digimon. For, you see, I was around 6 years old and I was trying to find something to watch on TV. And I immediately stopped searching when I stumbled upon Digimon and saw Palmon's evolution, Pokemon, on screen. Because yes, this adorable flower creature turns into a giant boxing cactus. And that was the coolest thing ever for little Finn. Of course, all the other Digimon were also extremely cool, like a giant beetle, a wolf, a dragon, a dinosaur. But there's something about a huge cactus wearing boxing gloves that immediately enamored me. For her hair, I thought of giving her a curly hairstyle that mimics her big flower, with little braids to represent the pistil. Then I added a tiny flower on her hair because you cannot be redundant enough. Editing Finn. So I didn't remember this scene at all, and I don't know if it was subconscious or not, but Palmon had a very similar haircut in an episode, and I swear I didn't look at this picture before designing her. I guess I'm that good at the Jinkas. This might come as a shocker to absolutely no one, but my favorite Digimon is Gomamon, so cute and funny. I still think Tentomon is the best one, but Gomamon is a seal and I'm extremely biased. I wanted to make him look like he's always ready to go swimming. I was inspired by the dumb outfits the main characters from Pokemon Black and White 2 wear, with the diving suit always under their clothes. I gave him purple swimming goggles to represent the purple markings on his face. The good thing about Gomamon's design is that I didn't have to think at all about his hairstyle. Shout out to Gomamon for not being bald. He truly made designing him easier. I gave both Gomamon and Palmon oversized clothes to mimic their long arms. And yes, it not only works, but I find these two the cutest designs I've made. And yes, I also added Mimi's hat to Palmon's design because it's just iconic. And now the last two Digimon, Patamon and Tailmon, or Gabumon if you're based. If you paid attention, at the beginning I mentioned how I'm drawing a Digimon, but there were 7 main kids. That's because Kari and her companion Tailmon weren't introduced until later in the show. Tailmon was separated from all the other Digimon when she was an egg, and ended up as a minion of one of the big bad guys, until she found out that she was one of the chosen Digimon and redeems herself. Tailmon was abused and had to fight and train harder than any of the other Digimon, and that's why she managed to digivolve into her champion form without the help of her kit. And to maintain her Digivolve form, many people assume she's at the same level as Agumon or Patamon, but she's actually at the same level as Greymon and Agumon. She's just a cute little cat. That's why people assume she's not as powerful. But yes, that's why I decided to depict her as a teenager while all the other Digimon are kids. In this human AU, I pictured Tailmon as a babysitter that has to take care of all the other kids. They still end up fighting Satan at the end. And finally, Patamon. I picture him as the youngest kid, not only because he's the smallest one size-wise, but also because he's the one that took the longest to digivolve. As with Agumon, Patamon also gave me some problems because of his limited color scheme. He is too a completely orange creature, but fortunately he has those earwing things that I could add to his design. I'm not particularly proud of how I incorporated them, just sticking them onto his head. But to be fair, I couldn't really think of any other way to include them. Pigtails, maybe, I don't know. I wasn't vibing with that idea. In the end, his overall design is cute and I think he's recognizable enough as Patamon. If you're familiar with Digimon, you've probably noticed by now I'm including their crest somewhere in their designs. Well, maybe you haven't, and that's why I'm pointing it out right now, to see if you were able to spot all of them. And that's everything for this video. Did you grow up watching Digimon? If so, who's your favorite one? I'm also curious to know which one of my designs is your favorite. As I said before, all the links for my commissions, store and social media are in the description. Oh, and you can sign up to my newsletter if you're interested in getting monthly updates, news and freebies. I'm also gonna be leaving here some videos that might interest you if you wanna see similar stuff. Okay, that's all, bye bye!